back, craft beer lovers. So continuing on with my journey here and trying some more of these amazing German beers from Insel Brewing, and this one is called called Seaford, and it's sour, and it's brewed using 2 wild yeasts and 2 strains of lacto, and so yeah, it sounds quite interesting. It's got some like a bit of grapefruit in there as well, but it's a real handcrafted sour beer. That's what it looks like in the glass. You can see there's a fair bit of sort of fermentation happening still there. The fermentation all bottle fermented. Another really good tight creamy head on that. The one I had last night had a fantastic head, and it just laced the glass perfectly right down to the last sip. So looking forward to trying this one. Wow, even the head's really sour and sort of funky. Lots of tartness. Boy, really dry mouthfeel. Very clean, refreshing, sort of like almost like a mouthwash when you get at the back end of it. Just, yeah, totally fresh and clean. It's beautiful. Sèche Maison, you would love this beer. Yeah, so just continuing on a little bit of the story and the journey, I guess, about Germany. There's another podcast which I was involved in recently. It was with the guys from SMS Sunday Sesh, Steve, Mick and Stevo from Queensland, so shout out to them. I'll post the link to that in the bottom of this video when I put it up, or sometime in the next day or so. And you can have a read through that as well, have a listen to that as well, because I think that tells more of the story about, you know, where it came from for me, and also when I came back to Australia after being in Europe, and the local bottle shop, which was up the road from me at the time in Sydney, and this guy had stocked up over 100 imported beers. Really, there was no craft beers back in the late 80s or 90s. It was just imported beers. And you know, back then they, you know, things like Heineken and Grolsch were you know, like really exclusive. You know, they weren't, you wouldn't get that in a lot of places. But then, you know, it also led me to some, you know, some great beers like, you know, Duval and some of the Belgians and those sort of you know, what we consider the old world craft, I guess, of today. And just kept following that journey, and with all the new beers that came out, I was always trying new beers. And if you look on the shelf behind me, there's some pretty old bottles back there too. You know, so yeah, it's about enjoying the experience, you know, remembering where we've come from with this. There's thousands of years of history in brewing that's brought us to where we are today, and it's about respecting that history as well. So remember, life's too short to drink bad beers, and yeah, these Insel beers are really good, and if you follow the journey right through to the end, there'll obviously be some information about where you can get these beers too. Remember, life's too short to drink bad beers. Cheers.